Hello, America and beyond. Welcome back to AMTV News. I'm your anchor, Topher Morrison. It's Monday, November 19th, 2012. No peace in the Middle East. Kinda seems like Groundhog Day, doesn't it? Israel and the Palestinians descended another level past the gates of hell. Militants have launched over 700 Iranian-made rockets, a supply pinched since Israel disappeared a Sudanese weapons factory. Some were intercepted by Israel's U.S.-financed Iron Dome. The IDF is rumored to be eliminating over 1,300 individual rocket sites throughout Gaza, while their airstrikes pounded a Palestinian television station and foreign journalists. These precision, surgical, pinpoint, laser-guided airstrikes claim nearly 100 Palestinian civilians, wounding over 700 more thus far. There have been prominent Israeli calls to, quote, flatten all of Gaza. Some blame Syria's Assad, believing it an end-around. Egyptian militants beset Israel from the south, and Netanyahu prepares for another, quote, significant expansion of operations. Shadow banking system, just shy of global GDP. The shadow banking system, that neat collection of investment banking non-banks, hedge funds, money market funds, and off-balance sheet investment vehicles, they that feverishly operate off the books and out of sight of conventional regulation, is reportedly valued at $67 trillion, a mere $3 trillion shy of global GDP, and larger than at the start of the financial crisis. Although the Financial Stability Board acknowledges the shadow system can create systemic risks and, quote, amplify market reactions when market liquidity is scarce, and even recommends a regulatory framework, it's like you're reading a recommendation from 2007, like we haven't been given a half a decade to figure out how to regulate creating assets out of thin air, re-leverage ad infinitum, and somehow pull ever more credit out of a hat in the hopes we'll grow our way out of this mess. What happens when you put 27 people into a room and ask them to spend the money of 500 million people? I give you the EU Budget Summit. The summit is in a deadlock, as much of the rest of the West evidently is these days, and between two familiar parties. According to the AFP, quote, between pro and anti-austerity nations, as well as between haves and have-nots, which generally occupy the same space. The UK's David Cameron has urged a budget freeze extending into 2020, but his input may be bypassed by the rest of the bloc. To be dismissed as so would likely give voters who are mostly in favor of exiting the EU even more reason to do so. For those advocates in favor of staying, like Ed Miliband, quote, the answer is not just to make the same old case for the European Union more loudly. We need to argue the case in a new way, not simply assume it is an article of faith. With Scotland looking to exit even the UK itself, it's hard to see what faith there is in union of any kind these days. Capturing every corner of the alternative media, watch AMTV News Monday through Friday. For more videos like these, visit amtvmedia.com, home of the AMTV network, the voice of independence.